What if that feeling of getting older, of being slower, more tired, more foggy, wasn't just about the number of candles on your birthday cake? What if it was really about a critical shortage of one tiny, simple molecule that your body has been quietly depending on every single second of your life? That molecule is glycine. And while it sounds simple, it sits at the very center of how your body sleeps, recovers, and even defends itself from the daily onslaught of cellular damage. For decades, it's been one of the most overlooked, yet most foundational, pieces of our biological puzzle. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. You've tried everything for better sleep, for more energy. You've been told that slowing down is just a part of getting older, something to be managed, not reversed. But what if the key wasn't in a complicated regimen or an expensive prescription? What if it was in one of the most basic, fundamental amino acids our bodies are built from, a molecule so common it's been hiding in plain sight? Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on glycine, and we're going to explore this together, step by step. We'll start with our first insight: understanding the invisible, foundational work glycine does every single day as our body's master builder. Then, we'll move on to our second crucial insight: the surprising science of how glycine can fundamentally transform the quality of your sleep, acting like a natural thermostat for your brain. And a little later, I have the ultimate revelation. This is the piece of the puzzle that is so often missed, especially for those of us over 60. It's about why taking glycine by itself might only be giving you half of the benefit, and what to combine it with to unlock its true anti-aging potential. This is the information I believe is most critical, so you are absolutely going to want to stay for that. If you're ready to explore this with me, do me a quick favor and tap the like button below. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing to join our community of healthy seniors, dedicated to thriving in our best years. Just a quick important reminder: all the information shared today is for educational purposes. Everyone's health situation is unique, so please consult your doctor or healthcare provider before making any significant changes to your diet or supplement regimen. Let's use this knowledge to have informed discussions with them. All right, let's get started. Insight number 3: the body's master builder and protector. So, let's begin with the basics. What exactly is this molecule? Glycine? Imagine you're building a house. You need bricks, wood, cement, wires, thousands of components. Now, imagine your body is that house. Glycine is one of the most fundamental, versatile, and frequently used building blocks. It's the smallest of all the amino acids, but its small size allows it to fit into places and perform jobs that bulkier molecules just can't. Here's a challenge we often face as we age. Because glycine is so common, and our bodies can technically make some of it, it's been labeled a non-essential amino acid. For many of USAs, that label is dangerously misleading. Our bodies are constantly under stress, not just emotional stress, but the physical stress of creating energy, fighting off inflammation, and repairing daily wear and tear. This constant battle uses up our resources at an incredible rate. Consequently, our internal ability to produce enough glycine can start to fall behind the ever-increasing demand. We develop a deficit, a chronic shortage of one of our most important workers, and we feel the results as fatigue, creaky joints, poor recovery, and that general feeling of slowing down. Let's dive a little deeper into the why behind this. Think about all the critical jobs glycine has on its daily to-do list. It's absolutely essential for building proteins and forming collagen. Collagen is the literal scaffolding that holds us together. It gives our skin its structure, our bones their resilience, and our joints their cushioning. When glycine is in short supply, that scaffolding can weaken, leading to more wrinkles, brittle bones, and achy joints. Beyond that, glycine also supports liver function and helps regulate the neurotransmitters that control our mood and cognitive function. However, its most heroic role, the one that sits at the center of our conversation today, is its job as a key component in producing glutathione. You've probably heard of antioxidants before, like vitamin C and vitamin E. Well, glutathione is often called the Master Antioxidant. It's the commander-in-chief of your body's entire defense system against aging. Every single time your cells produce energy, They create tiny chemical sparks called reactive oxygen species. These are like microscopic embers popping from a fire, and if they aren't extinguished immediately, they can burn holes in your cell membranes and cause damage to your precious DNA. This is precisely where glutathione intervenes. Acting as the body's primary firefighter, it neutralizes those damaging sparks before they can cause widespread harm. Therefore, maintaining high levels of glutathione is one of the single most important things we can do to protect our cells and slow down the aging process at its very source. To truly grasp how this works, let's use an analogy. Imagine your body's cells are like bustling, high-tech cities. Every day, these cities produce energy to keep everything running, but this process also creates a tremendous amount of pollution. That's the oxidative stress. If this pollution is allowed to build up, the city starts to break down. The power grids, your mitochondria, falter and produce less energy. The communication lines, your DNA, get corrupted with bad information, and the city's overall function begins to grind to a halt. But glutathione is like a highly efficient, citywide cleanup crew that works 24/7. This crew doesn't just neutralize the pollution, it also repairs the damage and even recharges other cleanup tools, like vitamins C and E, so they can be used again and again. Glycine is one of the 3 non-negotiable, essential managers of this entire cleanup operation. Without enough glycine, the crew is critically under. Pollution builds up faster than it can be cleared, and the city inevitably begins to decline. This is why a simple glycine shortage can have such a profound, body-wide impact. Ensuring our body has enough isn't just a minor tweak. It's like making sure the most important maintenance crew in our entire system has the staff it needs to keep our cities running beautifully for a lifetime. Insight number 2, the sleep solution. Your brain's nightly thermostat. Now that we understand glycine's foundational role, let's talk about one of its most immediate and powerful benefits. Something nearly everyone over 60 is looking for: a deep, restorative night's sleep. Have you ever wondered why you can feel utterly exhausted, yet still lie in bed for hours? Your mind racing, unable to switch off? Or why a warm bath before bed feels so deeply relaxing? It turns out, there's a fascinating biological switch at play, and glycine has its hand right on it. For many of us, poor sleep becomes a frustrating and demoralizing cycle. We struggle to fall asleep, we wake up frequently during the night, and we start the next day already feeling behind, with no energy in the tank. We blame stress, or age, or our mattress. And while those things can certainly play a role, there's often a deeper physiological process that isn't working correctly. A key, non-negotiable signal for your brain to initiate sleep is a drop in your core body temperature. As we age, our body's ability to regulate this nightly temperature shift can become less efficient and less reliable. Therefore, we can get stuck in that horrible state of being tired but wired, where our body is physically exhausted but our brain hasn't received the clear, all-clear signal to begin the deep, restorative sleep process. This is where glycine performs a bit of nighttime magic. To get a better sense of its power, consider the compelling research in both animal and human studies, which has shown that taking glycine before bedtime can significantly improve both the subjective feeling of being rested and objective measures of sleep quality. It works in a couple of brilliant ways. First, it acts on a specific part of your brain called the suprachiasmatic nucleus. That's a mouthful, but you can just think of it as your body's internal master clock. It's the part of your brain that directly controls your 24-hour sleep-wake cycle. Glycine activates receptors in this master clock in a way that leads to peripheral vasodilation. In simple terms, it helps the blood vessels in your skin, especially in your hands and feet, to relax and open up. This allows your internal body heat to escape more easily, which in turn naturally and gently cools your core temperature. That drop in temperature is precisely the signal your brain has been waiting for to say, "Okay, the conditions are perfect. It's time for sleep." To make this clearer, let's use another analogy. Imagine your body is a sophisticated smart home and your brain is the central computer system that controls everything. To get the house ready for the night, you need to lower the thermostat. If the thermostat is stuck, the house stays too warm and restless. Glycine acts like the clear, unmistakable command that tells the system, "It's 9 p.m., Time to initiate the cool-down sequence. It doesn't force the system into sleep with a heavy sedative effect, like many sleep medications. Instead, it creates the perfect internal environment for sleep to happen naturally and efficiently. It's like opening the windows on a cool evening to let the fresh air circulate, signaling to the entire house that it's time to settle down for deep rest. But glycine's role doesn't stop there. It has another amazing function. During the day, your brain uses specific neurons that run on a chemical called orexin to keep you awake and alert. At night, for deep sleep to occur, you need to quiet those wake-up neurons down. Glycine does just that. It helps to dial down the activity of these orexin neurons, reducing that feeling of mental chatter and allowing you to sink into deeper, more restful sleep phases. This means you don't just fall asleep faster, you stay asleep longer. What science is increasingly telling us, based on a consensus of studies, is that the 3-gram dose of glycine, taken about 30 to 60 minutes before bed, is remarkably effective and very well. It dissolves easily in a bit of water and has a slightly sweet taste. A key benefit is that, unlike many sleep aids, it doesn't typically cause grogginess the next day. In fact, some studies published in sleep science journals have shown it can improve next-day cognitive performance and alertness, precisely because the sleep you're getting is genuinely restorative, allowing your brain to properly clean and repair itself overnight. The ultimate revelation number 1. The power duo, your Master Antioxidant's missing piece. We've seen that glycine is a master builder and a key to great sleep. This information alone is powerful. But if you have any metabolic issues, like insulin resistance, prediabetes, high blood pressure, or fatty liver disease, or if you simply want to most effectively combat the accelerated aging process, then what I'm about to share is, in my opinion, the most vital truth of all. What if I told you that for many older adults, taking glycine alone is like trying to bake a cake with all the flour in the world but no sugar? You have one essential ingredient in abundance, but you're still missing another, equally critical component to get the final result you want. The entire reason glycine is so incredibly powerful as an anti-aging supplement is its central role in making that master antioxidant, glutathione. As a quick reminder, glutathione is made from 3 amino acids, glutamate, cysteine, and our star player, glycine. Now, here's the crucial detail that most people miss. For this biological production line to work efficiently, you need all 3 components to be readily available. Our bodies usually have enough glutamate, but both glycine and cysteine can be what scientists call rate-limiting factors. This simply means, if either one of them is in short supply, the entire glutathione production line slows to a crawl, no matter how much of the other components you have. The specific challenge for many of us as we age, or when we are dealing with chronic inflammation or metabolic stress, is that our bodily stores of cysteine become critically low. Cysteine is a very unstable and delicate amino acid. It's easily oxidized and gets used up very quickly whenever our body is under stress, which is precisely when we need its protective power the most. So, let's explore this scenario. You wisely start taking a glycine supplement. You're flooding your system with one of the key building blocks. However, if your cysteine levels are already depleted from years of stress and inflammation, your body simply can't use all that extra glycine to make more glutathione. The production line is still halted, waiting for that other missing part to arrive. This is where a wonderful compound called n-acetylcysteine, or NAC, comes into play. NAC is essentially a stable, reliable delivery truck for cysteine. It gets the cysteine to your cells in a protected form they can actually absorb and use. Let's go back to our brick wall analogy for a moment. Imagine you're trying to build a strong, protective glutathione wall around your cells. This requires both bricks glycine and mortar cysteine to hold them together. In our youth, we might have a big surplus of both bricks and mortar lying around the job site. But as we age, and after decades of repairs, our supply of mortar runs dangerously low. At that point, you can order a giant pallet of extra bricks glycine, but the builders just stand around, unable to build the wall any faster because they keep running out of the essential mortars. Taking NAC is like having a fresh truck of premium, ready-to-use mortar, delivered right to the job site. Suddenly, With both abundant bricks and abundant mortar, the builders can finally work at full capacity, rapidly building that strong, protective glutathione wall around every cell in your body. This powerful combination is often called GlyNAC, and the research, while still emerging, is incredibly promising. A key randomized controlled trial in older adults, published in the prestigious journal, the Journal of Gerontology, showed that GlyNAC supplementation improved multiple hallmarks of aging, including oxidative stress and mitochondrial dysfunction. But what was truly amazing is that the participants showed tangible, real-world gains in muscle strength, faster walking speed, and improved cognitive performance. These aren't just numbers on a lab report. That's the stuff that translates directly to a higher quality of life, greater independence, and a longer health span. Now, when considering this advanced strategy, it's especially important for us to approach it with awareness and care. The doses used in some studies are quite high. For instance, a common protocol in human studies was 100 milligrams per kilogram of body weight for both glycine and NAC per day. For a 150-pound person, that's about 7 grams of each, often split into 2 doses to maintain stable levels. Most people, however, start much lower. Pair ups around 3 grams of each per day and see how they feel. And, as always, it's absolutely essential to discuss any significant changes like this with your doctor, especially if you have ongoing health considerations. NAC itself can sometimes cause gastrointestinal upset, like nausea. So, starting low and going slow is the smartest way to begin. Our goal here is empowerment through knowledge, so you can make the best choices for your unique situation. So, how do you decide which approach is right for you? The way many health experts and nutritionists look at it is this. If you're young and generally healthy, glycine alone is likely sufficient to provide a significant benefit, especially if you're primarily taking it for sleep enhancement. But if you are over 60, or if you are navigating any of the components of metabolic syndrome, then the GlyNAC combination is theoretically superior. It is a more complete strategy because you are directly addressing the 2 most common shortages that are holding your master antioxidant production back. You are providing both the bricks and the mortar, ensuring the job gets done right. And there you have it, our ultimate revelation, the potent, synergistic partnership of GlyNAC. It's the understanding that to truly and robustly support our body's master defense system as we age, we often need to supply not just 1, but 2 of its most critical building blocks. This is why we saved it for last. It's a more nuanced strategy, but for many of us, it's the one that can make the most profound and lasting difference. So, today, we've covered so much vital ground. We started with our first insight, understanding glycine as the body's master builder and protector. We then explored our second crucial insight, seeing how glycine can be the sleep solution by acting as your brain's own nightly thermostat. And we brought it all home with our ultimate revelation, the power duo of GlyNAC to fully fuel your body's antioxidant defenses and fight back against cellular aging. Each of these insights is a stepping stone to taking back control, to feeling more vibrant, and to reclaiming the energy and clarity that you deserve. I'm so curious to hear from you. Which of these insights resonated with you the most? Was it the foundational role of glycine in building collagen? The science of how it improves sleep? Or was the idea of the GlyNAC combination new to you? Please share your thoughts in the comments below. Your experiences and questions are what make this community so incredibly valuable. If you found this journey through these health discoveries helpful, please give this video a thumbs up. It truly does help other people find this information. And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss our next video. Until next time, stay healthy, stay curious, and keep thriving.